Greetings, my people. Greetings, my people. I greet you in the words of Bibi Fahodier. Today is May 9th, Monday, May 9th, 2022. It's 4:24 p.m. And I titled this, Do We Even Believe in Us Anymore? And what kind of sparked this conversation right here was I was looking on TikTok. I was looking at a TikTok video, and in the TikTok video, excuse me, in the TikTok video, you know how anybody ever seen those videos that are kind of like the gold digging pranks, where you have the guys that rent these nice cars and they approach the women as if they're on foot or there's something. And one particular stood out to me. Um, it was it was obviously one of the brothers who runs this operation, and he appeared to be homeless. He actually had a pillow and cover laying in the street, and there was this sister that came walking toward his way, approaching him, and so he asked, he's like, "Hey, how you doing? You're beautiful. Um, you know, could I talk to you for a minute?" She stops to give him conversation, and he begins to ask, you know, do you have, some money to help me out? Maybe to get a haircut. He had locks, still like starter locks. And she says, "Yeah, hold on, let me see what I have." I think he asked for like $20, and I'm paraphrasing a bit on this anyway. Um, so he asked for like $20, and she says, "I'll see what I can give you." And I think he said she reached into and well, before I get to how much she gave him, they just began to have dialogue. And in the dialogue, he's, kind of, talking to her, and he's saying, "You're nice, blah, 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 this, can we talk?" So she's giving him conversation, and she's saying, well, you know, I would like to ask you questions, but I don't know. He says, "Hey, ask me anything you want." So she begins to ask him, how did he get in this position of being homeless and in the streets? He's telling her he sleeps out of his car. So he begins to say, he did some bad Bitcoin investment. Not Bitcoin. I think it was Bitcoin, but either one of those. Um, and he was like, "I've done bad investments. I kind of had gambling issues. I lost my family." He gave her the worst scenario that he could. Mind you, is a sister now. Um, and she's still talking with him. She's still talking with him and saying, "Oh, that's unfortunate, blah, blah, blah." And he goes on to say, um, well, she gives him money. She reaches and she gives him money, and they begin to continue to talk. He says, "Hey, well, I would like to, ask you out. You know, um, can I go out with you?" She's like, "Yeah." She says, "But first," and I'm paraphrasing a bit. She says, "But first, I got to kind of school you to some things. I'll school you to cryptocurrency." That's what it was. She says, "I'll school you to crypto, um, because I'm into crypto, and I'll school you to it and let you know." So she gives him, I think he said either like $40 or $50, and he was blown away. And he says, "Well, hold on, I got to tell you some truth. This is really a prank. I set this up because I'm really looking for gold diggers." And he says, "You're a real one." And he comes from under the sheet, and he has nice clothes on. He says, "See, no," and he says, "I was trying to hide my white socks because he's cleaned up and looking very decent." He says, "Well, I was trying to hide these things from you, so you wouldn't pick up." So he walks over to his car, and I think he has like a Lamborghini or something. And she was just like, "Oh wow, surprised." And I say this to say Then I began to look in the comments, and there are brothers in there that's saying, "Oh, no way. This has to be a setup. This got to be scripted. There's no women in the world that would do stuff like this. Oh, no, this is just, I don't believe this." And this is this kind of like the effects of this manosphere mentality. And here's the thing that, kind of, plucks my nerve with these brothers, because they want the females to kind of understand that there are good guys left. But in a sense, they've adopted the same mentality of these sisters and saying there are no good. First of all, do we understand when we say no more? If you go into the store and you're looking for, let's just say, tortilla chips, or let's say you're looking for turkey, ground turkey, and they said, "Well, hey, we don't have any more left." And you say, "Hey, you don't have any in the back." They said, "No, we have no more left." That means there's none. We may have a new stock coming, meaning groceries, but as of now, we have none left, zero. So I want us to marinate on when we really say things like there are no good guys left. None. Sisters say we don't have nothing to choose from. It doesn't mean, oh, I'm not talking about you because you're a good guy, you just happen not to be my type, or vice versa with the sisters. I'm not talking about you. None means none. So this prompted me to say, do we even believe in each other anymore? Do we even believe that there are decent black people in this world? Because if we've adopted this mentality, we kind of screwed. So if we've adopted this mentality that there's no good sisters, there's no good brothers, what does that leave us? That leaves us a destroyed race of we don't have anything. That means basically we just got to build with whatever. Basically, that kind of means like the family has been destroyed. We don't have anything else to build with. And I want us to think about these things. Now we can say there's no more of the type. Maybe you can say that. There's no more of my types that I like. There's no more of the dark-skinned sisters that I like, or there's no more of the tall brothers, or whatever your preference may be. It may be cool to say that. But we got to stop because, we say all these conflicting ideologies, the power, manifestation. I'm going to get to the manifest people first. Manifestation. You just got to speak it and, manifest. So really, let's think about what we're saying when we're saying we're manifesting these things to us. So if we're manifesting and we're saying that there's nothing good, we're manifesting this and saying there are no more good men. There's no more good women. And there was a lot of those comments saying, oh, they couldn't believe that there were decent sisters out there that would give a guy a chance. And in a sense, that kind of like revitalized me, because I have a brother that I talk to and we have these type of conversations all the time. He's an old one, like a big brother to me. And we have these conversations all the time. And we talk about these things of, us as men or males that are we're being judged by our worst species. We're being judged by the guys that got 7, 8 children that's not taking care of any of them. We're getting judged by the guys that just play games with sisters' lives, have double lives, cheat, do all these things, very insecure, whatever you may have it. But the same is on those scales, the same is on the other hand. With the sisters, some of the good sisters are being judged by some of the worst specimens of females. The ones that are trifling, the ones that are gold digging, money hungry, the ones that feel entitled, The ones that play games and put children on brothers and lie on them. The ones that play with dudes' emotions and just drop them like at a moment's notice. So we have to, and I have to check myself too, that not to adopt this mentality of ain't no more good women out here. Women don't want this. We got to kind of get out of this lower level. We always talk about vibration. Raise your vibration up by the things that we're speaking. It makes sense what I'm saying? But that just kind of like got to me, and that kind of baffled me a bit, that everybody in those comments, and they were kind of like copying off each other, almost on like some doppelgangers. They just kept copying and saying almost the same thing. Oh, this is a setup. This is setup. This is setup. A good person is a setup now. And we wonder why we live in this insecure mentality of survival of the fittest, dog eat dog, or whatever other Eurocentric saying that makes you feel like you can't trust nobody. So, I'm not going to be long on this video. I just wanted to say that. So please hit the likes and subscribe and hit in the comments and let me know what you think about this. Think about what I just said. How do you feel? Ladies, do you feel that there are any good brothers? And do you recognize them? What does a good brother look like to you? What is a good brother to you? Same thing with you, fellas. What is a good sister to you? What does a good sister look like to you? And I'm going to follow up with my answer in the video. So I leave you how I greeted you in the words of Abibi Fahodie, African liberation for African people. Peace.